Hello everyone, welcome to Rasayan Academy, and guys, this is our 16th video on the 100 name reaction series, and I hope that you are liking these videos, and if you do, then please start solving questions from the previous year, and I am sure that you are going to find some common questions from these name reactions that we have studied. Also, we are going to do a lot many more name reactions. So yes, let's quickly begin with the Stokes condensation. So it's a very simple reaction, guys, that is condensation of diethyl succinate and its derivatives with carbonyl compounds in the presence of bases. Alright, so first of all we have to notice that here we don't have a simple ester or a simple ketone, we are having diethyl succinate, isn't it? Yes, and its derivatives. Also, it could be diethyl succinate. Also, it could be some other ester group or one ester or one ketone group, something like that. Okay, you could also be given something like that. So don't worry if you are getting something like this. It's basically doing the same thing. One side it's going to do the condensation, the other side it's going to do the hydrolysis. That is what you are going to see. Alright, so its derivatives is a one very important term that you must take care in organic chemistry. With the carbonyl compound, now this is the carbonyl compound that we are talking about. So the diethyl succinate does a condensation reaction with the carbonyl compound in the presence of a very strong base, tertiary butoxide and tertiary butanol, and your final products look something like this. So alright, this part of the molecule looks, chalo theek hai, normal condensation is taking place from this carbon. So this is what you can see, normal condensation has taken place from this carbon and this carbon of the aldehyde, and okay, but what about the other ester group? The other ester group now got converted into acid. How are we able to define that through our mechanism? So we have to be very careful in defining the other step also, that how is the, in the same reaction, how is the ester hydrolysis taking place to the acid, and only that for one of the ester groups, not for this ester group. Alright, so yes, let's do the mechanism to understand it better. Yes, the mechanism looks like this, guys. First of all, this is our diethyl succinate, and as always, first of all we are going to go through the enolate formation. So in the presence of a strong base, the acidic proton will be taken up, and this is what you get the enolate like this. Okay, further the enolate is formed and you have a carbonyl, you have an aldol reaction possibility. So the same is going to happen from this carbon, from the alpha carbon you are going to get the attack on the carbonyl group like this, and further you form the alkoxide like this one, which is going to be stabilized by potassium, right? And soon it is going to attack on a nearby available electrophile. Now who is the nearby available electrophile? Either it can attack on this carbonyl carbon, but see that would be very strained, is going to give a very strained ring, or it can attack on this carbonyl carbon. So that is a much more feasible thing to do. So I'm just going to rotate the bonds a little bit. The same structure you see right over here, it is the same structure. Okay, you can just stop the video and see. I have just rotated and brought the oxygen on this side and brought the other alkyl groups on the other side, and the ester now is over here. Okay, opened up the ester. Right, now further it's very clear to you that the O minus is going to attack on this carbonyl carbon. This pi bond opens up, and then again when it falls back, the ethoxide group leaves, and that gives you a 5-membered lactone, and you also can call this step as a lactonization step. So what are we going to see? We see that first step is the enolization or the enolate formation. Second step is the aldol condensation or the aldol reaction step. Third step is the lactonization step, and what happens after the lactone is formed. Alright, so I hope that you understand till the lactone formation. Okay. Further, what happens is, again you have a strong base. The strong base is going to take up the acidic proton. Which proton is acidic? The one which is connected to this, on this carbon, connected to one of the ester groups like this. Okay, this is the acidic carbon we are talking about, and this carbon is just next to a leaving group. What is a leaving group? the acetate is the leaving group. Alright, this part, this carboxylate is the leaving group. Okay, and this is what you see, it becomes COO minus. Now here is how we define the formation of acid of one of the ester groups. Okay, the other one is intact, right, because the O minus from this group does not attack over here, and the other ester, which was a little far away, gave the lactonization reaction, and finally after elimination you get the formation of a double bond. On aqueous workup you get the acid. Now this aqueous workup does not mean we are doing the ester hydrolysis, just removing the impurities, and finally you get your product of the Stobe condensation. Now there is one thing that you might be able to forget again and again. What is the mistake that you might do? That is, you might take this molecule right over here and you might protonate it directly, which we are actually doing in the aldol condensation reaction. Okay, so you might take up this group, let's say CO2ET, and here also it's CO2ET, and you are just giving it a proton, doing the acid hydrolysis, and finally you see that there is an acidic proton. So you might directly do this step and get the double bond and still get the double bond, right? But here you won't get the ester hydrolyzed, you are still getting the ester. So this pathway is wrong, so don't do it directly. This pathway is all wrong and you are going to end up writing the wrong mechanism. That is why the lactonization reaction is very, very important. This is completely wrong. Okay, so I hope that you get it. Now yes, here we are. Finally, after the lactonization, the elimination takes place like this. You have a very good leaving group. Even the OH is also not a good leaving group. Dekho yahan pe, the OH is not a good leaving group, and here you have a carboxylate leaving group. So yes, much better option for a leaving group, right? So yes, this is how we define the mechanism of the Stobe condensation reaction. Further, we are going to see some examples. Now as always, you are going to stop the video and try the mechanism by yourself. I have already given you a hint that it is a Stobe condensation reaction followed by cyclization. So you are going to do that by yourself, and till then I am writing the mechanism. So I'm taking the whole group as R because right now we don't need it. So what do we have? We have a aldehyde, isn't it? And just like before, the tertiary butoxide is going to take up a proton from over here, and it's going to give the ester enolate like this. Further, the O minus falls back and attacks aldol reaction. So you have the aldol reaction, and here is the O minus. Definitely I am writing it below so that I can use it in the next step. Alright, so here is this carbon right over here. So one more carbon and the ester group is right over here. The other ester is over here, and where you can very clearly see that lactonization can take place by opening up this bond. It can fall back, and again the ethoxy group is going to get removed, minus OET. Okay, it's getting removed, and what do you get? You get something like this, oxygen and a 5-membered ring. So this is a ketone. This is an ester, lactone. Yes, OMe. This is what you get. So now this was something very, very easy to understand, and now again you have the proton over here, the same acidic proton that we have removed before also in the other examples. Now this proton will be taken up by the tertiary butoxide, and you are just going to get this removal of carboxylate, and your product is going to look like this, double bond and CO2Me, and the other one just got hydrolyzed, COOH. Alright, so this is how your product is going to look like. But now let's move onwards and see what else is possible. The first step is, this is Stobe condensation, very well. What is the other step? The other step, we are having acetate in the presence of acetic anhydride. What does that mean? That means that we have a cyclization possibility. So now I'm going to erase and make space for the next step. Alright, so guys, what did you get? You got something like this from the first step, CO2Me, and yes, COOH. Alright, now just open up this R ring. What is the R ring that we have? Something like this. This is the ring that you have, and now this is the carbon, this is the aldehyde carbon, and here it is. So you have a double bond already with that carbon, and this is what you see, CO2Me and C double bond. Alright, so this is just a single bond, right? CH2 and now C double bond O. Alright, this is what you get further. Okay, this is just a single bond. Okay, right. So now, as you already know, the oxygen is going to assist. The oxygen is going to assist in the attack onto this onto this carbonyl carbon, and as you observe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 member ring is going to form. Now before moving on to the mechanism, let me quickly tell you that I didn't. You are getting CO minus, and that CO minus can, or the COH group can also attack on the acetic anhydride. Alright, I'm not showing this step, but yes, you can understand from here only that you have the acetic anhydride over here, and the O minus or the OH can attack on the acetic anhydride, take up the acyl group, become OAC like this acetate group, and then become a very good leaving group, just like that. Okay, and after that, what do we see? We see an oxygen forming the oxonium ion, helping or assisting in the attack from this carbon. Okay, so this is what you get, isn't it? CO2Me, this is what you get. Now further, this proton is going to be lost to regain the aromaticity. Alright, and there is one more very important thing that you see, OAC minus. Now the acetate, one of the acetate groups, is going to take away the acidic proton from here. Now if this proton is taken up, you are going to get the enolate kind of stuff, and this becomes O minus. When it becomes O minus, it is again going to attack on the acetic anhydride and going to take away one of the acetate groups like this, so that it becomes, alright, this is just one thing, so that it becomes OAC, so that there is a double bond. So now this whole ring has become aromatic by the loss of this proton. Okay, and now you get your product. So this was a very simple mechanism, just that you have to take care of the 5-membered lactone formation, lactonization step. And yes, the second one is the cyclization. How are you doing the cyclization? Assisted. Here it is assisted by all of these oxygens which are making the ring very electron rich. Okay, so yes, just consider this as a single bond. Okay, right, and this is how you can write the whole mechanism by yourself. I hope that you will be able to. Now in the second example, again do the question by yourself, guys, do the example by yourself. So we can do the same thing, isn't it? We can actually try out the same thing, and we know what is the mechanism going to be. So here it is your carbon, here is your hydrogen, there is a double bond in between this carbon and this hydrogen over here, this carbon over here, the ketone carbon. Now here you see a ketone carbon, and let me tell you, when there is aqueous NaOH, you are going to take away this proton first as compared to this proton. Okay, this proton will be more acidic as compared to the other one, because the enolate is going to be this carbon is more electrophilic. Alright, so yes, you get the enolate from this side, and the negative charge, the enolate attacks on the carbonyl carbon after the lactone formation. Alright, I'm not even consider the lactone formation because we are done with that. So yes, this is the OET group which is going to be removed, ethoxy group which is going to be removed. Alright, so I'm just directly considering OH over here. Yes, so this is what you are going to get, right? So this is the whole product, and yes, I guess without considering the mechanism, it is very easy and simple. And if you want me to write, I can write a little bit. Yes, so this is how it is going to be, the O minus. Alright, the enolate formed over here, right? This proton would be taken up, there is a negative charge over here, enolate attacks on this carbon, right? And then you have the double bond O, OET. So O minus is going to attack on this carbon, the bond opens up, falls back, and the ethoxide gets removed. So you get the oxygen methoxy groups, and this is your intermediate once again, the five membered ring. All right, so yes, right, this is how it is going to be, one CH2 in between. And finally you again take up the proton, this is the acidic proton which is being taken away, and you have a carboxylate leaving group. So you get the double bond, the ring is as it is, no use of the ring, carbon, hydrogen, a double bond, and the ketone group, and the CH2 and COOH finally. So this is how it is going to be, and I hope that now it is much more clearer that how are we getting this or this product, and I hope that you understood the Stokes condensation. Do practice your questions on Stokes condensation, guys, and thank you so much for listening to me for so long, and also give a thumbs up to the video if you liked it. And also share, guys, do share it with your friends. Sharing is going to help them create knowledge for the name reactions, and also subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. And yes, I'm also an educator on the Unacademy Plus platform, where I aim for syllabus completion, the organic and inorganic, right? I'm teaching for organic and inorganic section of the CSIR. Alright, so yes, I will see you very soon. Till then, keep on studying, and also keep on visiting the description for the specific links to my Telegram channel and so on. Bye everyone.